Hey, Pastor Kent here with you, and this is Recovery with Pastor Kent. And April Fool's Day. No playing jokes on me today, okay? Um, now, there's a thing that uh, April Fool's Day goes from um, the 12:01 in the morning till 12:01 in the afternoon. So if you're going to pull any jokes, you need to pull them in those hours. That's what's said. And today, I celebrate my birthday. I am 23 years clean today, by the grace of God. You know, love and attraction. Some of us first saw the effects of addiction on the people closest to us. We were very dependent on them to carry us through life. We felt anger, disappointment, and hurt when they found out our interest, friends, and loved ones. Addiction affected every era of our lives, just as we sought the drug that would make everything all right, that magical pill that we always try to find. So we sought people to fix us. We made impossible demands, driving away those who had anything worse to offer us. Often, the only people that were those who were themselves too ready to be capable of denying and unrealistic expectations. It's no wonder that we are unable to establish and maintain healthy, intimate relationships in our addiction. Today, in recovery, we stopped expecting drugs to fix us. If we still expect people to fix us, perhaps it's time to extend our recovery program to our relationships. We begin by admitting we have a problem, that we don't know the first thing about how to have healthy, intimate relationships. We seek out members who have had similar problems and have found relief. We talk with them and listen to what they share about these aspects of their recovery. We apply the program to all our affairs, seeking the same kind of freedom in our relationships. That is, we find throughout our recovery. Just for today, loving relationships are within the reach. Today, I will examine the effects of addiction of my relationships so that I can begin seeking recovery. Many of us come into relationships with unrealistic expectations and thinking that this will fix my family. This will make all things right. Well, maybe, possibly, but I've seen it 50-50 over my years. So yeah, it's a 50-50, throw the dice and, you know, think, you know, it's going to happen. If I do this, I'm going to get my wife back. You know, um, it's the wrong reason to get clean. Um, if I do this, I'm going to get my fiance or my girlfriend or my boyfriend back. It's the wrong reason to do this. There's one reason to do this. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, let me explain that a little bit. You know, if you're anything like me, you've gone through life making horrible, terrible, rotten decisions after rotten decisions. You know, messing up my life. 5 times I had to start over in my life because I lost everything. Because I put it into my drug instead of into my life. You know, today I have good friends, you know, like my best buddy and pal, Andrew, you know, and my best sister, um, Teresa, and my bestest buddy, my partner in the ministry, Jenny, you know, and then, of course, there's my ultimate bosom buddy, pal, confidant. We've been through the ringer together. We've done all kinds of bad things together, you know. And he kept telling me, everybody else gave up on me, but he never gave up on me, you know. And to this day, Stephen is still my friend, you know. All the time I was out there using, all the time I was horribly nasty to him, telling him off, and, you know, who do you think you are telling me I'm an addict? How dare you tell me I have trouble? You know, he tried to reach me so many times, and I love all of you with all of my heart, because without each and every one of you in my life, those special people that I mentioned, I would not have what I have today. That is a wife who loves me and a son who absolutely adores me. You know, um, my wife is my ultimate soulmate. You know, um, I confide in her about everything. You know, as far as true relationships, when I first came into this program, I was a sick puppy, man. Yeah, I really was. I had worms. I had, syphilis. I had cancer. I had Lou Gehrig's disease. And I had all these filthy things in my life. And I thought, my sick addict thinking, nothing wrong with me. It's the rest of the world. Well, 4 years of therapy, 7 years of psychiatry, and treatment, a year and a half. And finally, before that, I did my steps, but steps are good. But when you come off heavy duty drugs, when I come off, they didn't have the methadone program, so it was all cold turkey, man. Okay, you just don't use the medical system, or sorry, the healthcare system has come so far over the years. You know, I didn't have those that you have today. You know, so shame on you if you abuse them. You know, they're there to help you. There's three things that is recommended in this program. I strongly lecture on this. Meetings, sponsor, and steps. Not necessarily in that order, but you need to do that. Because if you go out there in the world and act the way you do when you're using, you're going to make some bad enemies. You know, you need to do this journey from here down to here and find out who you are. You do that with the steps. Then, you know, if you need additional treatment, absolutely go to treatment. And not these 30, 60, and 90-day programs. Those aren't worth the paper they're written on. You know, because almost everybody who goes to those programs goes out again. Because you need a long-term treatment program. You know? And that long-term treatment program is a year to a year and a half. Okay? Then what they do is help you get back into society. Okay? We at Heaven's Elohim Treatment Center do this. You know, we help you get into a detox to dry out. Then we walk you through what your issues are. If you need psychiatrists or psychologists, that can be arranged too. You know, if you need therapists or addiction counselors, that can be arranged too. You know, we're here to help you. You know, um, it's so important that you reach out for that help. And then after you go through the treatment program and the Celebrate Recovery or the Life Recovery, whichever you prefer. I mean, those are two different ways that you can go through it. But either way, I took and am able to teach those. So you go through them and then you get on the other side. Then I help you get back into society. Because once you become a normal human being and your first thought of the day is not to get high, then we can work on getting you work. We can work on getting you properly situated in a home. If you need it, aftercare home, you know, we have those as well. That we can help you with aftercare program. And then the price for the help through the ministry or through the treatment center, which is through the ministry, you know, helps you, you know, and that amount is a one-time amount, and you have a lifetime connection to a fellow addict, you know, and that's so important, you know. I can't stress that enough. You know, it's vitally important that we do this, because an addict in his own or her own mind is a dangerous place to be. And you're just playing Russian roulette with yourself. You know, eventually you're going to shoot yourself. You know, you are. You know, if you play with a loaded gun with one bullet, spin that bullet, sooner or later, one of those people are going to get shot in the head. And in this aspect, your addiction is going to come back and bite you harder than it ever bit you before. And you know, it sits there and it waits for the operable time. It's so miserable and nasty. You know, it waits until you're at the lowest, simplest, vulnerable point in your life. And it says, now I got you. And it comes out and it starts to nibble. And it starts to bite. Then it starts taking chunks out. It's a filthy, disgusting, vile disease. Cancer can go into remission, but unfortunately, as a drug addict or as an alcoholic, that is never an option. You see, we as practicing addicts or alcoholics have crossed a threshold that we can never go back over again. There is no going back. You can't take back words, as you can't take back that crossover that we've done. You know, the focus of the treatment center is to help those that don't use on a regular basis or use on a regular basis and help them before they become chronic. You know, if you're like I am, I was a chronic user, man. You know, I could never stop. I told myself all the time I can stop. I don't need this. I know what love is. Really? Let me tell you what I thought love was. I fell in love with this girl. Beautiful. 32, 24, 32, man. Knockout. But a nutcase. 4 days later, I took a nervous breakdown. That's how far she pushed me. 4 days of marriage, and I ended up back in the institution. I almost went back out. I'm not kidding you, man. If you're not ready for a relationship, don't do my mistake, please. Don't get into a relationship before you're healthy. You know? This is my wrap today. God love you, and God bless you.